Warmer temperatures are on the way, so we decided it's the perfect time to try a no-bake recipe. And here to show us how to make her chocolate icebox cake is Sur La Table's resident chef, Vanessa Craycraft. Hello, hello.
Hi, thanks for having me here.
You can come anytime you bring cake. Let's just start there.
Right.
What do you love about this chocolate icebox cake?
It's easy, like it doesn't require turning on your oven when it's hot outside. And basically three ingredients. Three components to the icebox cake. So it's easy. You can make it in advance, so you don't have to worry about making it the moment or the day your guests come in. So
how early could we do it? Like a day or two before would be okay?
Yeah, a day before. Yeah. As long as it's refrigerated for at least 2 hours, you're good to go.
Okay,
because
perfect.
It needs time for everything to kind of come together and as one.
Yes, and I see that you already have some whipped cream going.
Yes.
This process can take a few minutes, so you started early.
Correct.
What are we looking as far as consistency and things?
So before the consistency, you have to make sure that the heavy cream is cold. If it's not cold, it's not going to whip well. And then you have to do it at a medium speed, because a medium speed creates small bubbles. The small bubbles make the heavy cream kind of more stable. And we need that for this kind of dessert. If it was for ice cream sundae, it can be softer than that. It can go higher on the speed. So you know it's ready when you whip it, and then you flip it over, and you stay here all day because nothing is falling.
It would have just, I guess, totally ruined it if it just immediately was like, and Mrs. Doubtfire. That would not be great. Okay, that's how you can tell.
Medium speed. For about 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay.
And then obviously there's a point when you have to stop.
Can I try some?
Yes.
This is the best. Oh, yum. Okay, I can't not. Delicious.
You're gonna have a lot more to hear.
You're like, girl, it's coming.
Yes. So it is easy to overwhip. When it overwhips, it becomes grainy. So you have to know when to stop. And then it turns into butter. So 3 to 4 minutes, that's your kind of sweet time at medium speed to have this consistency.
And I see some cherries on the stove. So what's happening over here?
So they're already heating up. We're using frozen cherries because frozen cherries will release a lot more juice, which we need for making our homemade jam.
Ooh.
And you can do this with any summer fruit, right? And then once you have those frozen cherries boiling, you are going to, probably for about 2 minutes, you're gonna add a little lemon juice, a tablespoon or so.
Zesty, perfect for summer. This is gonna be so good.
Exactly.
It's like a Cherry Garcia kind of feeling, right?
Exactly. And lemon juice actually enhances the flavor of berries.
Oh,
so that's why we use it with berries. A little pinch of salt, always for balance, and a 1/4 cup of sugar. And then we give this a little stir. And
we're looking for like a jammy consistency that it will eventually turn into that on the stove?
So the jammy consistency is gonna happen once these cook down for maybe another 5 more minutes. And then the fruit breaks down, and that's when we do at that very kind of end of the process a slurry. So a slurry is a combination of cornstarch and a little bit of the juice released by the fruit.
Oh.
And then once this is boiling, right? So it's gonna take a while. So that's why I have
exactly the power of TV.
Exactly.
You
then
put that in for the consistency.
A little bit of the juice of the fruit. You whisk it together and you add it to the fruit, and then that cornstarch, when the the liquid comes back to a boiling point, is going to activate and it's going to thicken everything. And then to chill it, you do have to kind of use the fridge or the freezer if you want to speed things up, or you can do it in an ice bath. So whatever it is.
So this needs to be nice and chill when you start layering,
because cold or not. I don't want it to be hot and then melt all my work.
Everything will melt. Everyone's seen that, like the Great British Baking Show, when something goes wrong and then it starts melting.
So time and temperature is what you need here.
And what are some of the next steps with layering to get to that?
So the next steps of layering will be, once this is done, right? We are going to, actually let's see, I'm gonna have you pass me that.
And what is this pan? This is a spring?
So this is a spring form pan. And the way that we do it is because thank you for doing that.
Yes.
Yes. Because we need something that is gonna hold things together until they get the time to marry and set.
Okay.
Right? So this opens up here, and you'll see it when I take it out. You could do it in a regular cake pan, but it's going to be hard to unmold it. So that's why we use this to just release and have a beautiful layered see-through, which you're gonna see. You're gonna see.
Okay, so we're gonna
I'm
layer.
gonna start with a little dollop of the whipped cream.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit. And
we have about 2 minutes, just so you know.
All right, so I'm gonna hurry.
Yes.
So this is going to just be the base to help me to have the first layer of cookies kind of stick to the pan, right?
Got it.
It doesn't have to be perfect, right?
That's the nice thing.
No one is going to see or if you did it
right.
Exactly level or not. And then you're gonna go with the first layer here. I try to see the perfect cookies here at the edge because that's what you're gonna see when you cut it. But if any other break, no problem. They can go in the center. Again, no one's gonna
Exactly, this is for any skill level.
Yes.
Okay, and once the cookies are on, then what's the next layering?
Then the next layer is, this is the base, another dollop of about 3/4 of a cup of the heavy cream.
Okay.
Which again, you're just going to do a thin layer because you're gonna do about 6 to 8 of these layers. So you don't wanna use too much at the beginning.
Okay, and then when we get to this final,
really
then what do we put on there?
The next layer before I cut the cake is some cherries.
Cherries, makes sense.
And you layer it up. So
and then
you
to
get the
finish
idea.
this one over here, you have chocolate curls you wanted to do and more cherries, right? So we're gonna dive in.
Down so that I can unmold.
Reveal, the big reveal. Wow, fabulous. Oh my goodness.
And then shaving. Again, is your cake, so you decorate as
this looks so fancy. I need myself one of those. Oh my gosh.
You want. And then just a few whole cherries, like a cherry on top of a cake.
Ooh, okay. Cut me a slice. I'm ready to try. I can't wait. That looks so beautiful. Okay, and while I'm eating this too, tell everyone quickly about the cooking classes.
Yeah, so we have over 60 stores. Most of them have cooking programs, so you can go in person and take a class. Or you can also do classes online.
Ooh.
Which I'm the chef that teaches classes online. So I'm teaching this particular recipe on June the 26th.
Oh my gosh.
So you can see the layers, right? I mean,
look at the layers. Cake. It's so amazing. Thank you so much.
You're
that was
welcome.
delicious.
Thank
Favorite
you.
new dessert unlocked.